Chemistry Room Fragrances is the perfect addition when elevating the vibe of any space. Whether if it's your home, car, or office, and something needs a quick refresh, our room fragrances provide that beautiful burst of fragrance with just one quick mist. Shop now at www.chemistryroomfragrances.com and be sure to follow us on Instagram at Chemistry Room Fragrances. Chemistry Room Fragrances. Smells so good. Hey guys, what's up? What's going on?
What's going on?
I'm super excited to have you all back. I hope everyone has been doing well, had a great week. I know it seems like this week is kind of dragging on. I'm just like, oh my gosh, can we get to Friday? Yeah. So with that being said, what's up, everybody? It's your girl Camille Essick. I'm host of the Speaker Podcast. This is the podcast where innovators and creators connect. Be sure to hit that notification bell and subscribe and follow us. The Good Black Man brand is now on Instagram and we're also online. So that is at thegbmofficial.com and follow us on IG at Official Good Black Man. And we do have a page now on Facebook. I do have my storefront available on Amazon, so you can find all my girly goodies there, ladies, as well as my digital store. Chemistry Room Fragrances. I just dropped another fragrance for summer just in time. It's called Island Kiss. Trust me, you do not want to miss this sale that's going on for the spring. That'll be coming out very soon. Island Kiss is available. You can use that coupon code GBM15 at the checkout. And also be sure to follow me on Instagram. And I'm on YouTube as well at Camille Essick Official and IG there at Camille Essick, Camille.Essick. So we're going to hop right into everything. Guys, I know it's been a minute since we sat down to talk. How are you all doing?
I'm cool, man. I'm busy as ever, but you know, this that time of year where I got 100 things going on, but I'm blessed. Can't complain. Better than I deserve.
Got you. Prescott, those that are not familiar with you, can you kind of introduce yourself to the audience so they kind of know a little bit about who you are and what you do?
Yeah, I'm Prescott Mack. I go by the title of sports pro because I do a lot in sports, but I am a basketball professional, not a professional basketball player, but a basketball professional. I'm a sports agent. I'm a sports facility director, now new nonprofit owner, and a sports team owner as well.
Okay, cool. What is the nonprofit about?
It's basically a nonprofit that kind of uses basketball to provide mentorship to youth. We provide them with college prep, financial literacy, and of course athletic, preparation. And it's called Mack Academy.
Okay, cool. That's what's up. And Sealz, those that are not, they should know who you are by now. You've been on here, but let the viewers know who you are and what you do.
Yeah, my name is Sealz. Man. Oh, first of all, I just want to say, Mac, that's really honorable, man. I respect what you do, man, because I coach youth basketball, 7th to 8th grade. And these kids are different, man. So
yeah. We need to get you to Georgia. I need some coaches.
Yeah, so I had to take a little break for that. So I really respect what you do, man.
Appreciate you.
So I'm on YouTube at sealstheman.com, where I just talk about the mentality and understanding the mind of men, men who want to do good, men of goodwill. And recently, well, I think I talked about this on your last show, but in your last show, I started day trading, but now I'm like an official day trader. So yeah, I'm like deep in it now. So I day trade, big into finance, stocks, investing, because that's very important for us, especially. I'm starting to learn the secrets of what the others been doing for generations, and now I'm just trying to spread, all that knowledge to our people.
That's good. I would love to have you back for that conversation as well, because my space is open to you if you're willing to do so. I think that information is very important. I would even like to know more about it as I start transitioning into the rest of this year. And before we hop into, excuse me, guys, anything else, I just want to say thank you to both of you just for taking the time to mentor our next generation of young Black boys. I think it's very important for them to see examples of what Black men can do and matriculate to be outside of just the realm of being a rapper, or, and not knocking just the athletics, but just seeing the role models and just seeing, hey, these are, husbands, fathers, brothers, nephews, cousins, and being that leader in the community. So thank you to both of you for doing that. We really need more brothers like you out here, and that's why you're here on the show. So thanks.
It's an honor.
No problem. So we're going to hop into a couple of things. One of the things I want to get into, guys, I really want to hear your opinion about that. And the reason why I asked the both of you is, one, Prescott, you're married, but you weren't always married. So you have the best perspectives on both ends. And then Sealz, you're not married yet, even though that is coming at some point.
Right.
Yeah. So just to hear their perspectives, this is a phrase, we're kind of winding back, going back into a couple seasons. Prescott brought up the phrase, the Bryon Tiller effect. He's already laughing because he knows where I'm going with this. So Prescott made the comment, he was like, a lot of ladies out here, there's that one guy that's kind of waiting. So Prescott, I do want you to take the helm on it and still hop in. Kind of, for those that are not familiar, what is the Tiller effect? We call it the Bryon Tiller effect. Like, what is that? What is that about? What's up?
Yeah. So, yeah. So from Trap Soul, if you listen to the album Trap Soul by Bryon Tiller, like the whole time he's like the girl that's in all the interludes, she's got a man, but like she's still talking to him, like waiting to leave her man to get with Bryson, right? So my philosophy has always been that every woman has a Bryon Tiller in their phone. And what that means is, like, no matter if you aren't thinking about it as the woman, if you aren't like pursuing it or even like acknowledging it, there is one man, at least one man, but there's probably every man in your phone, but at least one man in your phone that if you are falling out with your significant other and you text them and say, pull up, they're pulling they're pulling
and I
up.
was like, no, because I don't believe it, because I was like, my phone is dry, and I have other friends their phone is dry, and I was like, nah. And you were like, yeah. So I just want to hear what you all have to say about this.
That's a good point, man. I feel like that's not talked about enough, but I do feel like there's a different dynamic when it comes to women and men. Like the female version of Bryon Tiller effect on us. Like I feel like women have it on a way grander scale than we do, because men are just like, we're hunters, so we don't really care what anyone thinks. If we're trying to approach you, we get it. It happens or it doesn't happen. We don't care, but that's what we're supposed to do. Women on the other side, they're kind of like more conservative. They don't want to seem thirsty, so they might throw hints out there like, "Hey, I want you, but I'm not going to keep like." You know what I'm saying? You're going to either take the bait or don't take it. You know what I mean? But that Bryon Tiller, that's a you need to trademark that. That's a real thing, because I have a couple good female friends that I've never, like, straight up platonic, like never did anything with. Like, we are just straight up friends. And she would show me her DMs, yo. Like, all of them would show me their DMs. And I'm just like, bruh, It's just a list of just men just trying to get her. Like, and then you'll see a random random spam message or something, but literally all men. And I'm just like, dog, y'all got it crazy. Because if we get one good female Bryson Tiller, we're like, oh, all right, you know what I mean? We good. Y'all get it continually. So I totally get it. I agree with that. 100%.
And Sealz so educated and articulate. This is what it is. On the women's side, for us, if we are into it with our girl, we have to go, like you said, hunt. We got to go search for, dang, who's the back? Like, who's my second in line? Like, who can I hit up? Like, just broke up with my girl. And then when you do figure out who you can hit up, it's then you become a salesman. You be like, so we just broke up. Like, I'm trying, and you have to convince her, right? But this can be, on the women's side, it can be a dude that like your man has met, like he's your friend, y'all strictly platonic, never even thought about doing anything but being friends. Y'all are brothers and sisters. But as soon as the sister decides maybe we shouldn't be brother and sister no more, he is immediately, his title is oh, word. So that's the Bryson Tiller effect. It's just there is that man in every single woman's phone, and you just have to accept it. Like my wife, if she has men in her contacts, I understand that if she were to pursue any of them, it's like it's not like they're gonna be like, oh no, I can't do that to Prescott. That's not gonna happen, fam. Yep. So it just is what it is.
And I want to add on to that. Right? Men cannot be insecure about their woman who he knows is his woman, right? I just want to start off with that first, right? Before I get into my next step. If you know your woman is faithful to you, loyal to you, you can't be out here being insecure, man. It's not a good for you, for her, or your relationship, right? That's established, right? Another thing I want to say is I expect my woman to have that Bryson Tiller effect. Exactly. I expect her to have dudes wanting her, waiting for me to mess up, because I know my woman is super attractive, right? And I'm not just talking about looks. I'm talking about personality. This is the reason why I was attracted to her. Like, I'm not special. Everyone wanted her, but she chose me. Awesome. Thank you. So I expect my beautiful, attractive woman to have these dudes out here, wanting her, right? But as long as she's faithful to me, loyal to me, and I can trust her, I have nothing to worry about. But I know there's dudes out there who are waiting like sharks in the water for me to.
So is that like healthy competition to kind of keep you on your A game? Because in the back of your mind, this guy's like, put me in, coach. He is waiting.
Yeah,
honestly,
bro, he's like Little Caesar. He hot and ready,
waiting for you to turn the ball over.
Waiting.
He wants you to fumble the bag.
Yes,
but like I don't feel like it's competition. Honestly, maybe it's just me because I'm a Leo. Like we just Like,
oh Lord. I don't know about that. I'm gonna
right there you go. There you go.
Right.
There you go. Like, I don't have competition. Like, and I'm also strong on my faith too, right? What is for me is for me. Even if it's for a season, and maybe she does fall with one of those Bryson Tiller dudes, okay. Like, I'm not gonna fight or kill somebody over this. Like, if what is for me is for me, and I'm strong in my belief in that. So there is no competition. If she's mine, she's mine.
Right.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And we want to shout out some people following the comments. Dr. McClurry, Sealz, you remember her. You had a panel with her. We did a singles panel with Dr. Whitney McClurry. Yes.
Hey, shout out to Whit.
And Jared and Don Conley. Thank you, guys, for chiming in. So hopping into the next thing, since we're on the communication tip, I really want you all to chime in on this as far as the impact of masculinity labels, because lately we've heard a lot of conversation around like Michael B. Jordan and Jonathan Majors as far as what is Black masculinity, what does that look like? There's so many narratives surrounding that as far as this box or label. And if a brother is showing emotion or feeling, now his orientation is being attacked. But then in a relationship, you want him to be more open emotionally. But then if you do, you have to worry about being ostracized for that. And it's like a catch-22, but versus like women, particularly Black women, like we're free to be whoever we are. But these labels and these boxes or categories that we put brothers in, like that cannot be a good space for your mental health.
Yeah, it's tough too. Like, it's almost like you are trapped and you have to isolate in order to like work through your own emotions, because if you until you get to the healthy space with whoever you're communicating with, prior to getting to that healthy space, if you were to express, then it's either your fault or, and I was listening to an interview today with Devell and
Duvall and his
Devall
wife
and
Ellis, the
yeah,
Ellises.
yes. And he said that one day he was like communicating with her and saying, hey, this hurt my feelings, right? Which is what y'all ask us to do. Like, hey, well, how are we supposed to know? We can't read you. We can't read your mind, blah, blah. Right? And then we express that like this hurt my feelings. And then like her response, because women, believe it or not, women's pride kills men's pride. Like it's heavier. Like we probably have it more often, but a woman's pride is heavy, like super heavy, because if you're coming at her and she feels bold, then she's coming at you even harder, and she know exactly where to cut you. Yep. And so her comeback to him was, you sound like a bitch. Oh, Jesus.
I did hear that it was Kadeem and Devale. It was on, I think, Dear Future Wifey. I think the podcast they were talking about that. And
yeah. They said it on the Breakfast Club too. So so it's like, dang, bro. And he was like, that, like, I tried to express myself to you, and that, like, now I'm a bitch. Like, so then when we don't, though, now we're reserved. You can't bottle everything in, and then like any human, when you bottle so many emotions in, every human has a different tank, right? Everybody's tank is a different size, but when that tank is filled, then there's a blow up, right? It's an explosion. And so then that explosion happens, and the whole time he had been ready to like hit that little faucet, get a little bit of that stuff out that tank, and you weren't letting him. You plugged the faucet, and he couldn't get anything out the tank, so it blew up. And then now we're too masculine. Now we're too macho. Now we're abusive. Now you start putting labels on us like that. We got anger problems and all that, and really we don't. We just our tank is full, and so and we're not allowed to release that tank. So I think that it's definitely a problem. And like I said, the preface is, until you get to that healthy space with whoever you're communicating with, like there is a healthy space there. It's not like every woman is just like plugging that faucet up. But until they get to understand, where like, okay, my man has to be able to express himself. And that's then, and only then, do you start to see how he can maturely get through all of his emotions and maturely work through any type of anger that he might have, or any animosity he might have. He starts to become really emotionally mature once you give him that space to. And women have to understand, especially Black women, that y'all got so much power, and the way you use your power can mold how we act and react. So
Sealz.
Facts. That's facts. Masculinity. What a time to be alive in this generation, right? Because this is probably the first generation, according to what I've heard from older people and elders, that we are this free at expressing who we are and who we feel we are. So masculinity is at a the term and sense of masculinity is now like an abstract thing now.
Right.
When in the past, masculinity was going to work, feeding your family, getting this money, and doing labor, right? It was kind of like that thing. What can you do? What can you force with your power and your strength? Now, if you think about if you ask today's generation what masculinity is, you can get an array of different answers, right? Compared to back then, this is what it is.
Yeah.
The thing I will say is that I don't know about the Ellisons. I gotta
Ellison,
check
yeah.
Ellisons. I'm gonna check that out though. That's crazy. Like, and that also shows if you truly want to be with this woman or not. Because I feel like if I was in his shoes and she said that to me, we're done. We are.
And not taking up for her, but she's also Caribbean and from the Bronx, like from New York. No excuse, but her personality, like listen to her talk. He said from day one, her energy is like she aggressive. So yeah, and that's something I also want to talk to you guys. Like my personality, I'm feminine. Like so her dynamic versus mine, polar opposite. But yeah, I understand what you're saying, Sealz, about that.
And also you find like in a lot of, I'm gonna just be 100,000% here, real here. You'll find like within a lot of our minority women that they have a lot of masculine energy, because minorities have to fight for literally everything we have, to the fact that it's not just men who have to be aggressive to get results. It's also the women who are like trying extra hard to get results. And now as a culture, as a race, Spanish, Black, whatever, we're fighting for everything we have, and it kind of like leaks into our relationships. It leaks into our communication. It leaks into how we carry ourselves. And that's why, like, once again, I'm so appreciative of this generation and how we are so free to express ourselves and to have these conversations, right? Because if we try to have these conversations even 20 years ago, people would be like, "Oh, you a wuss. Shut up. Stop complaining, bro." Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's a different vibe nowadays, and I love it.
I think, and touching on that before we move on, a lot of that, at least for women, is like you said, having to push for everything, but not knowing when to switch off. So now you have these two masculine energies bumping. But as I've had in previous conversations, we don't want it. The ones that are really deep, our true core as feminine, we don't want the masculine energy. It's been forced upon us just because of our social economic constructs, especially if you're single. Because if I don't go out here and go get it, I don't have someone to fall back on. So I have to go get it. But when I come home, I take that down, I pull that off. And I'm like, ooh, like it's exhausting. And I don't, for me in my mind, I don't see how some women willingly carry that all the time. On the flip, there have been women that were once, I would say, more feminine, but because they were in a position or relationship where they trusted somebody, if like, oh, this man has my back, and he dropped her and put her in a bad space, and so her mind is like, I got to make sure this never happens to me again. So now you cross the line into masculinity, because now it's like a protective thing, because the last time I trusted, a guy or whatever, I got to put in a space and I got to hold me down no matter what. Whether if you can't depend on your family, you can't depend on, certain people in your circle, you can't depend on that significant other. So it's like in your mind, you have the safety net mentality, which can make you more aggressive as a woman when that might not even be your true core of who you are.
Right.
No, facts. No, that's the PTSD that women
that's what that is
have to deal with is very much real, which is why, like, when you do have a man that is trying to not trigger like all those things that are causing that PTSD, it's somebody is gonna have to go first, right? You know what I mean? So like if you got PTSD, so you need me to be soft, right? You need me to come at you a little bit softer. But in order for me to come at you a little bit softer, I have to be able to express myself without demasculating me, if that's a word.
Emasculation, yeah.
emasculating me or whatever the word is, but not taking away my masculinity. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
I get you, man.
But like, I need to be able to have this in order for me to give you that. Somebody has to go first. So if you need this, and you need this from me, but I can't give you that until I get this from you. Somebody has to give before they get. Yeah. And so that's where honestly, me and my wife had to come to the terms of like, and she didn't want to like admit it, again with pride, she didn't want to admit it, but I literally said to her in the argument that like, we just need to establish that you got a need, I got a need, but I have to fulfill your need and before I can get my need. And so we're going to go ahead and establish that I'm the one that is going to have to suck it up and provide your need, and then I'll get what I need, right? And so once that's established and we get it, then all right, I got to take this little baby step in order for me to get, and then once you give me a little baby step, now I can give you a couple more steps. So then but again, we got to establish somebody's got to go first. But that PTSD, like, there's triggers that every woman has, either from a past relationship or from how they grew up or from, anything that has happened. And I have to get through those barriers, but I also got some PTSD, and it may not even come from a woman. It may just come from being the fact that I'm a Black man in America. Yeah. And I have certain insecurities and trust issues that come with being born. And so you got stuff that was done to you because like you're not treated well. Like these are things that are done to you that you establish your PTSD from actions. I was born into mine. And so I have to constantly figure this out. And especially like you said, Sealz, like our generation, like we're like, my son is going to be emotionally intelligent growing up, right? Because I'm there with my son. I'm showing him affection. I'm showing him that we actually just got into an argument. He's 2.
That's a 2-year-old.
We got into an argument, and I was like, you gonna be mean to me, I'm gonna be mean to you right back. And then he get emotional, like, you can't okay, we're gonna, and then at the end of it, we're like, okay, I'm gonna tell you sorry. Now you tell me sorry. And then we apologize, and then we hug, and then like, okay, we just went through conflict resolution, right? You're 2 years old, but you're learning conflict resolution right now. Whereas our parents was like, shut up before I give you something to cry about.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just different. And so like the emotional intelligence that we have is going to affect the new generation. And then when it comes to relationships between a man and a woman, especially a Black man and a Black woman, like they'll be able to establish somebody's got to go first.
Yeah.
Right. But that goes into these 2 points. And Sealz, I want you to hop in on this. One, the communication in stressful periods of a relationship, what Prez you talked about, but also validating his feelings as well. Because a lot of times we hear so much about her feelings, her point, her trauma, but men have traumas too. There are men that go through abuse, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, even sexual abuse, then they come into a relationship. So to that kind of counter that point a little bit, yeah, you're born into some things, so are we, but things happen through life as well. As we say, life be lifing. And so you have 2 people that both have a journey, and you come together, and now you have to figure out how to work and fit together. And that comes with first just communication and saying, hey, before I met you, there's some things you should know. But I think it ties into first kind of vetting that person to see if they're a vault, which is a phrase Sealz you used before. Are you a safe place where I can take the mask off, unpack it, and if we do disagree, you're not going to weaponize what I told you in confidence from a previous conversation?
Facts. Like, it's like, so what do you want me to target first? Because there's a lot of
just jump in.
Because it's safe. All right, so that's why I said, like, you have to make sure you're compatible with your woman, because like you said, Prescott, like, we both have our different journeys, right? But we got to find a way to get on a similar avenue. We got to find we can't be in a relationship when you're on a dirt path and I'm on a Pebblestone road. Like we can't be on a parallel relationship. We got to come together as one. And that's why compromising is like a big part of that as well, right? And like you said, also Prescott, is that like that's a form of masculinity where you're saying, you know what, I'm going to go first, because as a man, I take pride in going first. As a man, I take pride in starting this journey we're about to take. I'm going to do that because I take pride in that as a man. That's a form of masculinity. Any man can do that, whether he's butch or big or you know, a small. Like that's why masculinity is such a abstract thing, and I'm glad that we're talking about it now, right? So like you said, are you my safe place? Are you my a person I can talk to, and like you said, not weaponize my secrets, weaponize my weaknesses? Can I not be called a B word if I tell you how I feel, tell you about my emotions, right? Because I'm telling you, man, to all the women out there, if you have a man who is completely honest with you, 100% like a faucet with you, that is a blessing. Because even for me, I know how hard it is to be honest with my lover. Yo. It's super hard. Why? Because it's like, man, you might judge me, or you're going to see my weaknesses. My weaknesses might push you away.
The ego?
You might think that like I'm not able to handle problems that we're going to encounter based on the problem I have right now. You know, so we overthink things. But that's why congratulations to you for being married, because you have a life partner. We're doing this together. We're a team, right? So we have to act like a team. I got to be able to pass you the ball. You shouldn't have to be shooting all the time, or me have to shoot. We should be able to assist each other. If I can't assist with you, you're off my team, because we're not a team no more. I might as well be a team of one if we can't be a team of two.
Right.
I'm gonna score 50. Like I'm fine with that. But I need to find someone I can, in basketball terms, like
the triple double. It's important. Okay.
Yeah, it's like you gotta have that. You know what I
mean? I know what that is.
You know what I'm saying? All right, good.
With the triple double. Yeah,
no, we about to go into old basketball talking this one.
Hey, I know a little in the paint. See, I know the phrases. Okay.
She put out a basketball glossary.
Hold on. What that?
I like sports.
You said pick a roll?
Pages. I saw you look down before you say that. Look at
no, I was like, comment, share. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah. No, but that's facts. And to elaborate on that, I actually done got off track. I didn't forgot what I was about to say.
We were talking about safe spaces and you being vulnerable and your secrets.
Oh yeah. So I was gonna pose a question, because like there's probably maybe that one person, which is probably your life partner, your significant other, your wife, your husband, that you just don't lie to. But how many people, like, just to pose the question to the audience and to y'all, how many people in your life, if any, know everything about you and your life?
None.
Exactly. There's none. There's like, you won't, like, just a not to even make it like negative, just think of like your mom. How many times you just omitted some stuff about your mom? Mom, where you at? You really on the wrong side of town.
Yep.
At Walmart because you just left old dude house, right?
Yep.
But you told her that you just at Walmart.
Yep.
And you didn't tell her that you're at, like, you didn't go into detail. You just like, I'm at Walmart, or I'm running an errand. Like, you ain't said nothing. Like, there's just times where and there's no reason, because she wouldn't care. You're 40 years old. Like, what's she gonna say? Right. But it's just, you just don't want her all in your business. Like, that would be what we justify the white lie for, right? So when I've decided, as my significant other, like, to your point of why it's very hard to be 100% honest, right? So when it comes to your significant other, and you are literally saying, here is me, every flaw, every thought, every feeling, every temptation, like, here is me with God. It is us, this 3-string cord. This is all of me. No lies, all transparency. that's difficult. And as a man, if I'm doing, as a human, that's difficult. But as a man, if I'm doing that with also the fear that you are going to strip me of my masculinity because I'm being vulnerable, that just puts that's a double on negative communication. Like, I'm not going to want to communicate with you at that point.
Yeah. And that creates a ripple effect too, because now not only is he not going to want to confide in you, he's not going to want to confide in any woman.
Right.
Any, like his mama, his cousin, his aunt, like nobody, because he's like, man, y'all all like this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's not a true thing, but it's a real thing. It's a real life thing. Like that's how people think, you know. And as you were talking, I was thinking like, wow, it's true. Like not one person knows everything about us. And it's not, like you said, it's not a negative thing, it's also a positive thing. Not everyone knows what makes you happy.
Right.
Like even you're in a marriage, in your relationship. I don't know if you're dating or not, but like, because I know
nothing has changed since the last
because you're a superstar and all that, so I didn't know.
I'm dry, bro, like an old Jerry curl from 87. Right. Dry, man.
But it's like, yo, even your significant other doesn't know, like, man, when you brush your hair like that, that makes me happy. Or when you cook that specific dinner, yo, that makes my heart go like it's a love language. Like, it's little things like that. We feel like we don't have to tell you because
why?
Like,
then you're gonna try to do it. Now it ain't gonna be authentic.
Right.
I like how you walking this way. I'm trying to see the booty look that way.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? A little rotation on it, you know what I mean? But it's
like I'm brushing it. Look, I'm brushing it. See?
Yeah, I'm trying to see the hairs go down like that.
You know what I'm saying? Just saying. Or when you snort, when you laugh, little things like that. It's like, but the more we confide in our significant other, the more they get to learn about who we are. It's not just lip service now. Like, now you see who I am. You see how I react to certain things. You see how I move. Like, I don't have to say who I am all the time. You can look at me and be like, okay,
yeah,
I know what you're about because you act a certain way when I say this or do this, or when certain things happen, you do this. Like, I'm learning your language without saying a single word.
But that's not come with the validation of the feelings, right? Because women, well, their love language, they like the affirmations. But can you all touch on how just as important that is for him as well?
You come out.
Yeah, man. I mean, we all need our ego stroked. I mean, there's the most humble person need their ego stroke. I mean, like, you have to. What other incentive do you have? If you're just super unselfish and you give, there's a value in giving, because the more you give, like, biblically, the more that's you. If you're not biblical, if you're not Christian, then that's called karma. But if you're biblical, that's just called faith, right? The more I give, the more I'm going to receive. That's my covenant. So if I need to, the point is, I need to receive. Like, receiving is part of it. The world is built off of giving and receiving. If I'm breathing, which means I'm blowing something out, I'm breathing out carbon dioxide. So something in this world is taking that carbon dioxide, right? It's these trees, these plants. But while they're receiving my carbon dioxide, what are they giving? They're giving oxygen. And I'm receiving that oxygen. So the whole world is built off of giving and receiving. But if I am always the one affirming you, I'm always the one taking care of you, and I'm the one buying you the Birkins, and I'm the one you like just giving, then, and I'm not receiving anything, something's gonna die.
Yeah.
And that opens the door for resentment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sealz.
Yeah, man, I love that, because it's like the world is based on exchange. Like, otherwise it's going to be unbalanced. And balance is the key to life and death. When it comes to confirmation from your significant other, your woman or your man, like, it's everything, because to most men who are trying to make things work, we don't speak about it. Like, we don't say like, hey, I did this. Like, or I took out the garbage today, or I put money in our account today. I did that. Like, we don't say that because you look crazy. That's what you're supposed to do, right? That's how we feel. You're supposed to do this. So even when we get a simple like, yo, I appreciate you. Like, you're seen. Like, I see you. Thank you so much. I know you don't like to talk about what you do, but I'm making sure I want to let you know I appreciate you. Man, that honestly, like, for me, one of my most popular videos on YouTube was talking about how telling people, like, telling your man you love him is overrated. It was controversial. It was like 3 years ago, but yeah, that was like that was my very first video, actually.
But that's not overrated, right? Like, I wouldn't think so.
So I explained myself, right? So I was saying, like, us men, we need more than just saying I love you.
That's not enough.
Because that's not enough. Everyone says I love you. People love a nice car. People love good food. Like, okay, that's cool. But to say I appreciate you, I see you, I feel you. Like, I want you. Like, that's a different type of feel, because that's not something everybody can say to you. Saying I love you isn't exclusive to your significant other. Anyone can say that. But to say I feel you, I want you, you are like, that's a different type of energy that we need to encourage us to keep being like men, to keep doing what we're supposed to do. That pumps us up, you know?
Yeah,
so
that's good.
Yeah, so that's, it was a little controversial, but it was great.
No, I get it. I think because I'm expressive just by nature, my mindset, just how I if I was in a relationship, I would communicate. It would be like, I appreciate you for da-da-da, because when you do this, it makes me feel da-da-da-da. That's just how I talk. So it will go beyond I appreciate you. I would tell you why, and then whatever action you did, I would say, and this is why, and when you do this, it makes me feel this way, and kind of complete that train of thought. So
yeah, that's perfect. What Sealz said about, like, we can't be our own cheerleaders out loud, because like, y'all seen Coach Carter, right?
Yep.
And how he when they were doing too much boasting, he was like, look at that bow, I tied that.
Yep.
And that was the point of, like, you shouldn't be the one that says, hey, look how happy I made you. Look at this life I brought us. Look at this work that I did that created this opportunity for us. We want you to come to us and say, man, babe, you've been working for 3 years on this goal and it paid off. And thank you for this life that we have. Thank you for getting up just, we want to feel that like, all those are extreme, but like, we want to feel those appreciations of, like, just subtly, like, man, you have been working out and you got me feeling like I need some, right? So that's like, I want
you looking like a whole snack. I see
you looking like a snack. Like, I'm trying to, that's
not a snack, babe, a meal. You look like a whole entree, babe. You look like an entree.
That's a fact, yo. And it's like losing weight. It's like losing weight, right? It's great. It's great. You might look in the mirror and be like, okay, I am losing some fat around the waist area. That's cool. But man, to hear someone else say it, like, yo, see, you are here. Yo, what is you doing?
Is
like,
that the bubble? Is you popping out?
Are you like smaller? That's a different type of feeling. It's like, oh, not only do I see it, but she or he sees it too. Like, that motivates you even more. Like, as a man, to cheerlead ourselves, like you said, Prescott, like, that's corny, bro. Like, and I hate when people do that online.
Yeah.
They do like, yo, look what I got, dog. Right. I got the new Sadies because I work hard. Like, bro, who cares?
Right.
You know what I mean? So, but if you're like, you do your thing on the low, you quiet, and you just work, and I see you in person, I'm gonna tell you, like, bro, I'm proud of you. You got the new Sadies, dog. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? So that's a different type of compliment,
And that's, I mean, old women used to say, like, if you don't do it, another woman will. That's not only sexual. Like, let my girl ignore me, and it's just natural. It's not me being a dog or anything. Nope. Like, let her ignore me for a good year, and I don't hear no affirmations. And let one of the golden girls at Walmart that's checking my ticket say,
not Medea.
let us say,
Shirley,
young
Willie
man.
Yeah.
All she gotta say is, young man. And I'm like,
Okay.
Gladys, you better chill.
Smelling like
Gladys.
white diamonds and peppermints. Smelling like white diamonds and peppermints.
Or the work wife.
Right,
What?
right.
Come on,
Exactly.
man.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh. So love and respect. Because and let's hit on this, because I don't think a lot of ladies realize there's a difference between love and respect. And I always look at it that if you respect him, you do love him. Is that wrong? I want to know. I'm just asking. That's why we're having these conversations. He said
No.
Gladys.
I was just thinking out loud. I was like,
Not Gladys.
you can go.
Like, where is the line between love and respect? Because I'll be out. I'm not a Walmart shopper. I'm a Target shopper. I don't do Walmart, but Target. You're right.
It won't be Gladys. It'll be Cynthia.
There's been times I've been out and I've ear hustled conversations where I've heard women say some outlandish things, and I'm thinking, she's like, but I love him, and I'm thinking, but do you really? Because you're being mad disrespectful, and it's not about misogyny or anything like that, but the line between love and respect and what that really looks like seriously.
This one is deep.
Yeah, it is.
You can love hot Cheetos. You know what I mean? Yeah, I love basketball. Like, it's pure. I love the game of basketball. It's a real love.
Yeah.
But I can also, while I love it, I can disrespect it, right? So let's put it in the perspective of sports, right? Quick.
Okay.
I love basketball a lot. I own a professional basketball team. I haven't worked out. I haven't ran. I don't shoot every day. Because I'm the owner, I decide, hey, I'm going to play in this professional basketball game with no preparation, I'm disrespecting the game, like at that level. Now, if I go pay $40 to go play in somebody's adult league, that's different. But if I say you should pay to come watch me play and you should pay me to play, and I haven't put any work in towards it, that's disrespectful. Mm-hmm. But I love this game, though. And the only reason I'm willing to play is because I love it.
Right.
But I'm disrespecting it at the same time. So to flip it back to relationships, you can love me all day long, and it can be the purest love ever. But if you don't work to, I'm trying to get canceled these days, so I'm trying to pick my
PC culture.
PC.
It gets on my nerves. Like,
if you don't work to be mine, let's put it that way. If you're not working to be mine and whatever that entails, and you're not, but you're expecting to get paid like you're mine, like you're expecting me to do all the actions to be yours, but you're not reciprocating that. At that point, that's disrespectful. So to put it in layman's terms, like, you love me all day long, but in public, we're at like a double date and I do something and you just completely cuss me out in front of everybody. Now, you cuss me out at home because I deserve to be cussed out. That's fine. But now you've cussed me out and you demasculated me in front of everybody. That's disrespectful, even though you love me, right? Like, it's not like you're not doing a crime. It's just something that like would completely shoot my ego and disrespect and make me feel the utmost disrespect. Whereas I probably could have took it better, like at home, because I might have deserved the cussing out, right? But like, the timing in which you did it means you don't respect my position, because outwardly my position has to be here, and that we could get even more where I can get canceled from that. But like I have a position and you just took my position away in front of everybody, and that's disrespectful. But that doesn't mean you don't love me.
Yeah.
I think respect is like, it doesn't matter if we're out or at home. Respect is respect, period. And if we're not agreeing, in my mind, this is how Cam thinks. There's nothing going on that I feel like we can disagree and it not be disrespectful. We can disagree and not get below the belt. We can disagree and not get ugly. We can disagree because what you're not going to do, one, you're not going to yell at me. Two, you're not going to cuss at me. Three, we're not going to weaponize things we discussed in times past. They're just some things for me in my world when it comes to communication, we're just not going to do. I'd rather for us to take a moment, step back. Hey, I need to think. Then we come back together. But for me, respect, whether if it's private or home, respect is respect.
Yeah, and I totally agree with that too. So my philosophy when it comes to love versus respect is that so I feel like there's different weights to love and respect individually. I feel like, in my opinion, love can go from cheap to expensive, but respect is always expensive. And this is what I mean, right? You can love something at the slightest sight of something. Like you can see something like, oh, I love that. But to respect something, it has to be earned, right? So you can tag love on something, but you cannot tag respect on everything. Like in order to get my respect, you have to earn that. Because if you out here wilding, I don't respect you. If you say certain things or you act a certain way, I don't respect you. But love can be literally used in so many facets. And so that's why I feel like in conjunction with each other, in combination, love and respect will create a super positive thing. But when it comes to individually, love has a wider range of weight and cost versus respect, which is always heavy and always expensive. Because you, like, in my opinion, you have to earn that. So that's why I feel about respect and love.
I think that also applies to trust as well. To me, like trust, respect, because once you lose the trust, getting that back, you can get it easily, but when you lose it and try to reobtain it, you might not if ever get that back.
Yeah, so, and it's tough.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say like those. Sorry. Go ahead. Real quick. Yeah. I think all three of those things are like the holy trifecta of any healthy and successful relationship. Like they're all individual, but in a way, when you combine them all together, it's a beautiful thing. Because love, trust, respect, they all are related in some kind of form and fashion. They're all intertwined in a beautiful way. But when you separate them from each other, that's when you start to have rifts in your relationship, right? You can say you love someone and you respect someone, but if they lose your trust, now you have lost their respect, and now that leads to you losing your love. So it's like when they're all connected in that nice little triangle, if you sever one of the paths from any of those three things, it can lead to the domino effect and destruction of the rest of those things. So
that's good. Yeah. Right. And I want to circle that back around to how it impacts men, because that is the premise of this conversation. And this is just what I've learned through doing these podcast conversations with you all and reading. For men, when he's open and then his feelings are hurt or he gets shut down or he's disrespected, now you can reconcile, apologize, babe, I love you, whatever. And correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't that like a little piece of him that gets locked away? And so the next time she may notice her man, her husband, or whomever, he's quieter. Hey, babe, what's going on? You okay? Are you fine? Yeah, I'm good. And so now in his mind, he goes, well, I know not to do that again or open up that part of me again because the last time I did that, this happened. And so over time, and you keep doing these things, that's more and more parts of his heart that's getting locked away that you no longer have access to, because at the end of the day, he's on self-preservation mode.
Yeah. We should, most men will score in the 90 percentile in protective mentality. And the first thing we gonna protect is our feelings, our ego, ourselves. And so you're spot on. Like and then we're so logical. Most of us are so logical that like we're if then, right? So we think if then, if I do this, then this is how she's going to react. If this happens, then this will happen. So when I express myself, like if I express myself, then she's going to react like this. So next time that I feel this way, I'm not going to express myself, then she's not going to act like that, right? So it's just like I'm like this, and this may not even be all men, but Prescott, there has been like times where I'm in conflict, and if the conflict goes this way because of this being said, then the next time there's conflict, I'm going to avoid that part of the communication. Like I'm going to go ahead and lock that away, even though that's probably beneficial to me getting that out, me expressing that. I'm not even going to do it. Like I'm going to alter the way I handle that. Like if the way I handled that communication was bad this first time, the next time I'm going to alter it and I'm going to handle it differently. And so it like things that might get expressed that should get expressed isn't getting expressed anymore. And that is like, we're going to change behavior. We're going to, and like you said, like locking those feelings away, locking that piece away. So that's really spot on for me, especially. I can't speak for every man, but for me, that is facts. Like if you make me feel some type of way after I express something, the next time I'm not going to express it.
Yeah, man. That's a fact. And for me, it's kind of like a similar thing to you, Prescott. Like, so first off, God made women to like be able to take pain way better than men. Like that's not even a debate. Like women take pain just even naturally, childbirth, like just menstrual, like everything. Give that to us, we're done. I'm done. Lord, take me in now, because we do not deal with pain like good at all, right? So I remember the first time I got my heart broken by my girlfriend. And before that, I was a very like lovey-dovey, but in a man way. I was very like giving. I gave her a promise ring. I would talk
Not
about
a
her.
promise ring.
Bro, I was like 21, probably something like that.
Oh, that's serious.
Yeah, I gave her a promise ring, and that was the most money I ever spent at that time, man. Like, but I didn't care.
Kids will be like, "What's a promise ring?" Like, don't even worry about it.
Yeah, you too young. But I spent my little Burger King check to buy that ring, man. Like, and I used to tell people, outwardly about her, and I used to tell my mom. I was just so like full of that energy, that good, loving energy. But man, when I got my heart broken for the first time, it literally sent a ripple, a wave throughout the rest of my years when it came to relationship, to the point where it was bad, bro. It was bad. Like I didn't want to express myself to women no more. I didn't want to say I love you no more. It was hard to like even do things like kiss anymore. Like because to me, kissing was very big. Like if I kissed you, that means I really like you. I'm not out here just kissing women. Like, so even like, sacred things like that, bro, it literally just like sent like cracks throughout the world of my relationships for like, I would say 7 to 8 more years, man, until I got help, until I did therapy. Because man, for us, because like you said, Prescott, we're so logical. When there's an error in our formula, we're like, error, this ain't right. Something ain't right. Like, while women, they're able to like take their pain and grow flowers from it. From us, we get pain and it shuts down the whole factory.
No, I mean, you just need like one good Mary J. Blige album and then we're good.
Exactly. For us, we don't got that.
Yeah.
So that's what, like, for me, man, it took a lot for me. And I'm still not at that point where I was back then. Yeah. Like, life happens, and you grow up and you become more of a man, and but man, I really do miss those days where I would just like carefree and showing love to my woman. And now it's so hard to get back to that. And I don't think I'm supposed to be, honestly, but I do miss that feeling.
So you said you're in therapy for it. So are you continuing your therapy to address that intimacy issue?
No, that was like I've been done with that, but I've healed from it like I would say like 4 years ago. But cool. But during that span of just like being hurt all the time and going and dating and bringing my pain into the date, like it was just a mess, bro. And I look back on it, I'm just like, oh, what did I do?
You know? Well, see, that's why we have Mary, Bryson, and Drake.
You see, I got the lips on my head. I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
There you go. Man, I can tell Prescott was that man back there. I can tell.
Yes. I'm loving this.
I just grew out of being that man. From that same point, I got cheated on at 14 and wasn't the same till probably a year ago.
Yo,
I just got healed.
And it don't matter the age, bro. Men take it hard. It don't matter when, where, what. It don't matter, yo.
Facts.
See, so this chemistry, I want to continue this conversation and bring you all back for like a part 2, if you're willing to be down for that. I think what helps is when other Black men hear other Black men, and you kind of feel freer to share your feelings. And you all know my space is a safe space. There's no judgment here. And I just love to hear the brother's perspective, because there's so many websites and social media pages. You know, for the brothers, as far as for the ladies. And I want to be one of those spaces where men can come out here and kind of have your exhale on the couch, and we can have these conversations, because I think it's important. It's healthy without these stigmas. And I think you all have been around me long enough to know this is definitely not the place where I'm going to demean or chide you for sharing. I want to hear your feelings, because I think it's important. So if y'all are down, I would like to do a part 2 of this conversation later on.
Nah, facts. Prescott cool, man. He cool in my books.
Nah, cool. Facts. I need to get to Jersey. You may be trying to pull up.
Yes. And Sealz, don't you have family in the Carolinas?
Yep, I got family in Fayetteville, Hope Mills. I don't know if you know where that is.
I know where Fayetteville is.
Yeah, Fayetteville. You know Fayetteville. So yeah, little parts here and there. Yep.
Cool. So as we start to wrap up, just share like any takeaways or nuggets, and where people can contact you on social media, just because I think we've covered so much, but just something people can think about until the next time. And that'll be, as we close out, that'll be the takeaways and context.
I'll go real quick. You get the last word, bro. So Sealz the man on everything. I am Sealz.com. That's my website. And I'll be back to talk about investing in stocks and all that stuff.
Yes.
And I'll have a YouTube channel for that soon. Like I've literally been going through this recently, and learning how to take a break from life. Like just because now I know you, Prescott, you're a busy guy too. See, you're always been busy, but you make it happen anyway. And I'm super busy too. And you got to realize, like, life is not worth it if you can't enjoy it, right? We can have so many good things going on. It ain't got to be bad things. It could be so many good things that it becomes bad because you don't manage it well. And it's okay to just shut down and just take a break from everything. Like this past month or so, like I stopped posting videos on YouTube. I've been stopped posting on Instagram because I'm an ambivert. So I'm an introvert and an extrovert when the time is right. But I'm more so of an introvert. So I like creating things on my own time. I don't feel like I when I start getting pressured and my supporters like, oh, I need another video. Okay, when in the next time you posting? That gives me a headache because I like to create on my own time. Otherwise, it becomes another job, and I ain't with that, right? So I shut down, bro. I stopped doing everything. Like I didn't care if I lost money. I didn't care because I was losing my peace and my mental peace. And I just want to let everyone know it's okay to take a break. It's okay to cut people off who ain't doing for you. It's okay. Even your relatives. I cut off relatives, and I've cut off friends who I called best friends at one point because I realized what they were doing. and some of them weren't about nothing, or they wasn't trying to be nothing. They wasn't trying to support me. It's okay to subtract, to add addition to your life, to be an addition to your peace. It is okay. Subtraction is addition when it comes to that, right? So that's all I want to say. I literally just came out of my
hiatus. Yes.
My hiatus, and I feel better. I feel even more energized. I'm ready to create mad stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah. But when I was in that storm, bro, I didn't want to create nothing. I didn't want to see nobody, and it became more like a job more than realizing it's a blessing from God, you know? So take a break. It don't matter how long. You ain't got to go nowhere on vacation. You could be right at home. Take a break.
Yeah.
You know? So that's my message, man.
That's good. During the pandemic, I took my first sabbatical from social media. Like that first December, we were on quarantine, and I didn't realize how much my mind needed it. And it got to the point where I was like, I'm going to do this more often. So every December, I take a break from podcasting. I set up scheduled posts for social media. I'll do replays of previous episodes. Excuse me. Just because, like you said, trying to create, thinking of a reel, thinking of a post, thinking of a show, it was wearing me out. And even February, some things I share with you offline, Sealz, it was so much going on. I was doing the shows behind the scenes. I was like, I'm tired. Like mentally, I was checked out. So I was like, let me start doing this more, not just at the end of the year, but creating a space once a month or every 2 months where, hey, I'm not doing any shows this week. This is my week to chill out. If I want to go get my toes done, whatever I want to do, and then schedule for whenever. And so now I have my little, what I call virtual spring breaks or summer breaks or fall breaks. And I give myself those things. And you have to listen to your body and to your mind, because I noticed when I started taking those breaks, when I would come back, my creativity was like, so I totally get it. That's really good. Prescott?
Yeah. Instagram, pmac.sportspro. Facebook is just Prescott Mack. Businesses, the agency is, I'm a sports agent. The agency is intrepidsm.com. So Intrepid Sports Management. The nonprofit is macacademygym.com. And the pro team is cgbucks.com and DallasSkyline.com, DallasSkylineBC.com. So, but my takeaways are the worst thing you can be for someone is be one of them. So the worst thing you can be for a broke person is be one of them. The worst thing you can be for a broken person is be one of them. The worst thing you can be for a unstable person is be one of them. So make sure, like, if you really, really want to help people, make sure you good. Because if you're just like them, you can't help them. So if you want to help the poor, you got to go make some money. If you want to help the broken, you got to be fixed. If you want to, help the unstable, you got to be balanced. So like they've said, take your breaks, do what you got to do to make sure you're right, and then you can help. That's all I got.
Yep.
Thank you. I think you both are like so dope. And I think I've said that before. I'm going to keep saying it and give you your flowers. Anytime I meet a dope brother, good black men still exist. Why? Because they're not all bad. That's the tagline. It's real. I just think y'all are phenomenal. So I'm going to keep having you guys back. And I think you all have so much to say. So I appreciate you both for taking time out of your busy schedule to sit down and talk with me.
No problem.
Anytime.
Yep.
All right. Well, everybody, this is your girl, Camille Essick, host of the Speaker Podcast. This is the podcast where innovators and creators connect. Be sure to follow me on Instagram, and I'm also on YouTube. The information's right there at the bottom of your screen. Tune in. We have some other things coming up the rest of this month. And I think you're going to be pleased with those conversations. I don't want to spoil it, but you can go to the website, www.thespeakerpodcast.com, and you can subscribe there. Look at all these braces wearing me out, but it's all right. I'm trying not to drool on myself. It's bad, real bad, but it's okay. Deliverance. Shut up. I swear y'all like my brothers or something, man. You know how nobody can get on you but your people. It's funny though. It's okay.
Yep.
All right. Sweet Jesus. I can't even get my thoughts together. Oh yeah, I'm closing out the show. Yeah, and y'all be great. Good night.